Hello aviators, Colonel Dwight with you, sharing another exciting lesson on regulations. There are several regulations that require the pilot in command to notify or report to an agency or authority if certain things happen. You will be tested on your knowledge of the reporting time frames. I know of no easy trick to remember these, and hopefully the only notification that you will ever have to make is a change of address. Let's look at these various regulations in order of time frame. I pray this is one that you will never have to report. A licensed pilot is required to report a conviction for driving while intoxicated by alcohol or drugs within 60 days of the conviction to the FAA Civil Aviation Security Administration. While we're at it, let's take a look at the regulations concerning alcohol and flying. No person may attempt to act as a crew member of a civil aircraft with a 0.04% by weight or more alcohol in the blood, or if that person has consumed alcoholic beverages within the preceding 8 hours. In addition, a pilot may not allow any person on board the aircraft who is obviously under the influence of drugs, except in an emergency or if the person is a medical patient under proper care. If a licensed pilot changes his or her permanent mailing address and fails to notify the FAA Airman Certification Branch of the new address, he or she is entitled to exercise the privileges of a pilot certificate for a period of only 30 days after the date of the move. The operator of an aircraft that has been involved in an accident is required to file an accident report to the National Transportation Safety Board within 10 days after the accident. However, an accident will also require immediate notification to the National Transportation Safety Board, which may be done by a telephone call. No pilot may deviate from an air traffic control clearance unless an amended clearance is obtained, an emergency exists, or the deviation is in response to a traffic alert and collision avoidance system resolution advisory. Note, when you declare an emergency, air traffic control will give you priority over other aircraft. Each pilot in command must, if requested by air traffic control, submit a detailed report within 48 hours to the manager of that ATC facility of the deviation. In an emergency, a pilot may deviate from a regulation or from any rule of 14 CFR Part 91 to the extent required to meet that emergency. However, the pilot in command must send a written report of that deviation to the administrator of the FAA upon request. The operator of an aircraft that has been involved in an incident is required to submit a report to the nearest field office of the National Transportation Safety Board when requested. However, note that certain incidences require immediate notification to the National Transportation Safety Board. Also note that there is a difference between an immediate notification, which could be done by a telephone call, and a written report. The National Transportation Safety Board must be notified immediately and by the most expeditious means possible when an aircraft is involved in an accident which results in substantial damage to the aircraft, when an overdue aircraft is believed to be involved in an accident, or certain events that are considered incidences, such as flight control system malfunction or failure, inability of the required flight crew member to perform normal flight duties as a result of injury or illness, failure of structural components of a turbine engine, including compressor and turbine blades and vanes, an in-flight fire, or an aircraft collision in flight. This completes today's lesson on regulations. Fly safe!